The Volunteers will earn a spot in the college football playoffs if they beat Vanderbilt. Everybody and their mother would have taken that bet back in August. The number one way that Tennessee's going to beat Vanderbilt. It's happening right now. It's your Friday Locked On Vols.
You are Locked On Vols, your daily podcast on the Tennessee Volunteers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, good Friday morning, everybody. Welcome into Locked On Vols, your number one spot for Tennessee football news and entertainment weekday mornings when you wake up. You guys know by now we are free and available wherever you get your podcasts. Hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving and time spent with your family and immediate family, extended family, whatever the case may be. Hope you guys had a chance to sit down and fellowship and eat and have a great time. I know I did, and I'm very, very thankful for that. And I'm so thankful for each and every single one of you guys for making this show what it is you every day. Or seriously, I know I say it a lot, but I promise you, you're the reason that I get to do this, and it's a dream job. So I'm thankful for you guys, and also thankful for Game Time for being, how about that transition, for being a part of today's show. You can download the Game Time app, create an account, put in the promo code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. Okay, Boogie Bentley, a little Locked On Talking Vols coming up in segments 2 and 3. Going to have a good conversation about everything that needs to happen for Tennessee to win against Vanderbilt and so much more. And I'm going to tell you 5 keys to beating Vanderbilt here in segment number 1. All that and more is happening right now on your Friday Locked On Vols. So, 5 ways that Tennessee will guarantee it earns a spot in the college football playoff in terms of getting this win over Vanderbilt. As we talked about all week long, this is not your daddy's Vanderbilt club. It's a Vanderbilt team that's already bowl eligible. It's a Vanderbilt team that's got a direction offensively. It's a Vanderbilt team that's improved a little bit defensively. They played really, really well. They won some big games. Alabama, they played very well in some other big games that they just came up short. Texas, Missouri. It's won an overtime game against Virginia Tech, all that and more. So how does Tennessee beat Vanderbilt? Well, number 1, contain. You've got to contain Diego Pavia. Really, really talented player. Again, we talked about him all week long. He leads the Commodores in rushing attempts, rushing yards netted, rushing touchdowns. Of course, he's a quarterback, and he can sit back there and sling it as well. 16 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 60% completion. And when I talk about him being a dual threat, I mean, it's legit. He's gained 825 yards on the season. You take sacks into the fold, he has 671 rushing yards. So a lot of option, quarterback dive, responsibilities that you are going to have to keep up with if you're a defense. And Tim Banks has been preaching that all weekend long. Rodney Garner, William Inge, they've been preaching that all week long about dive player, quarterback player, dive player, quarterback player. But not just that, in passing situations, last week against UTEP and Skylar Locklear, Tennessee's ends got upfield too much, and it created a lane. You've got to get upfield, but also hold your own and being able to dip under and make a play or not allow the quarterback to break your contain. So containing, both literally in the pocket and figuratively just in the overall game, containing quarterback Diego Pavia is going to be a massive emphasis in this game, because as he goes, Vanderbilt goes, and there's not a whole lot of other ways that Vanderbilt can win outside of its quarterback. Number 2, you've got to win special teams. Vanderbilt has been really, really talented on special teams. Knoxville Catholic alum Brock Taylor, 5 50-yard plus field goals on the season. He's made 17 of 20. Brock Taylor again, he does the kickoffs, 20 of 33 for touchback. Their punter averages 47 yards per punt. He's down 16 inside the 20. He's booted 17 50 yards or more. And their punt returner, Martell Height, very comparable to Boo Carter in terms of the stats, right? They both average about 16.1 yards per return. Height has returned about 5 more, and he has returned 1 for a touchdown. On that note, Boo Carter, hidden yardage. We've talked about it, all week long, how he's kind of been that secret weapon for Tennessee's offense, and he's not even an offensive player, but he's been setting Tennessee's offense up with some prime field position. That's got to continue. Jackson Ross has had a phenomenal year. That's got to continue on the road. When asked upon to make a field goal, Max Gilbert, and there's going to be more orange than black and gold in that stadium, okay? It's not going to be necessarily a home game for Tennessee, but playing in the mid-state, there will be more orange than gold and black, and Max Gilbert's got to, stay true to his kickoffs. But the coverage units as well. Mike Eckler's got to dial up a nice game plan in terms of the strategy. Tennessee needs to win special teams. You cannot allow Vanderbilt to win special teams and maybe make some plays on offense and defense and come away with a win here. Tennessee's got to win special teams, number 2. Number 3, you got to start fast. Vanderbilt is not a team that is good from playing from behind, okay? Again, Pavia is the only weapon it has on the offensive side outside of tight end Eli Stowers, who's a really, really good player. But Vanderbilt is not a team that likes to play from behind. It likes to play keep away from you. It likes to do long, extended drives. It likes to run the football. It likes to pick up first downs and just take time off the clock. The quick passing, quick scoring is not necessarily who Vanderbilt is. It's not Kentucky-esque, okay? So I'm not trying to go to that extreme. But if Tennessee gets off to a fast start, say they go up by a touchdown, 10 points in the first half, or really first quarter, then I think it's going to be a challenge for Vanderbilt to try to play catch-up because, of course, then you build on your lead. So I think a fast start is critical. If you get off to a slow start like you did last week against UTEP, Vanderbilt's going to get you. UTEP was not good enough to get you, but Vanderbilt is. You cannot afford to get off to a poor start like you did against UTEP. You cannot afford to go scoreless in the first quarter like you've done 3 times this season, okay? Tennessee needs to get off to a fast start. It's not the end-all, be-all, but essentially you can't afford to get yourself in a hole, in my opinion. So, that's just going to make it, not that you can't battle back. Like, I don't think Vanderbilt has built the battle back, but I think Tennessee's more built the battle back than Vanderbilt, but you still just don't want to start off in that hole, okay? Because Vanderbilt's good enough to make you pay. So number 3 is start fast. Number 4, got 2 more here. Number 4, control yourself. In other words, control the controllables. Control only what you can control, okay? And that is what happens between those white lines on Saturday, okay? And all the stakes, everybody knows what it is. We talked to the guys and the coaching staff earlier in the week at media availabilities, and I asked them a couple of times. I mean, everybody knows what's happening right now, okay? Everybody knows. Everybody knows you win and you're in. Everybody knows that it's on the road. Everybody knows that it's an in-state rival, and Vanderbilt this would make Vanderbilt's season. And I mean, this is no disrespect, but every single year this is Vanderbilt's Super Bowl. It's facts. And it's only emphasized this year because Vanderbilt's a pretty good ball club, and there's so much on the line for Tennessee. So obviously, everybody is aware of what is on the line here, okay? Don't worry about that. Just control what you can control on that one play. Control what you can control on this one series, on this one defensive play, on this one field goal, on this one pass, whatever the case is. Don't worry about what's at stake. Don't worry about the weather. That's another thing here. Don't worry about the weather because the weather is going to be chilly. You have a quarterback from Southern California. This will be the coldest game he's ever played in. He can't control the weather, but you can control what you can control. That's elementary. I understand that. It's a little bit of coach talk, but it's true. Control yourself. Number 4. Then number 5, run. I'll take this from one of those famous movies, The Blind Side. Run the damn ball. I mean, just do it. Like Dylan Sampson, he is, of course, banged up, battered, and bruised a little bit, but he's going to play. Don't get me wrong. He's not on the injury report. But he only had, I think, 13 total touches last week, and that was by design, right? You didn't need Dylan Sampson to go beat UTEP. So he should be feeling about as good as he's felt in a long time. Rely on Dylan Sampson. Run the football. Be who you are. This offensive line, it's been hit or miss at times in the passing game in terms of protection, but it's been great at run blocking all year long. Okay, Tennessee for 4 straight years has rushed for over 2,500 yards under Josh Heupel. That's never been done for a duration of a 4-year stretch in Tennessee football history. Run the football. Be who you are, and rely on that offensive line, those big uglies, and rely on Dylan Sampson, number 6, who, again, we spoke on earlier in the week, somehow isn't a finalist for the Doak Walker Award, which is simply hilarious, okay? Simply, and we talked about that earlier in the week. So, 5 keys to beating Vanderbilt. Number 1, contain Diego Pavia. Number 2, win special teams. Number 3, start fast. Or in other words, don't get in a first quarter hole. Number 4, control yourself between those white lines. And number 5, run the football. If Tennessee does that and wins the majority of those 5 keys, they'll win two of 3 phases of the game, and you're going to be in the college football playoff. I mean, it's just as simple as that. Go ahead and sign me up. I can be a coach, right? All right, when we come back, we'll get into a little bit of Locked On, talking Vols, all that and more here on a Friday edition of Locked On Vols. Hey, I want to tell you guys about my friends over at Game Time. Game Time is an app to where you can buy tickets to events in your area, sporting events, concerts, comedy shows, whatever the case may be. Game Time has those tickets on the app. And if you download the Game Time app right now, you can create an account, put in the promo code LockedOnCollege, and you're going to get $20 off your first purchase. Again, $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, put in the redeem code LockedOnCollege for $20 off your first purchase. There, you'll be engulfed with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. You have the lowest price guarantee where Game Time is going to credit you 110% of the difference if you find a cheaper ticket in the same section somewhere else on another app. Plus, all-in pricing, you get to see the price up front, no hidden fees at checkout. Download the app today, create an account at Game Time, put in the promo code LockedOnCollege for $20 off your first purchase. Download Game Time today, last-minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. And, of course, I want to tell you about our friends over at Home Field Apparel, the exclusive apparel sponsor of Locked On Vols. Football season, it's almost over. I can't believe it. You can kind of feel that chill in the air, especially this weekend in the Mid-State. If you're heading on over to Vanderbilt this fall or this Saturday, be sure to be decked out in style in your Tennessee gear thanks to Home Field Apparel. Can't miss Kickoff 2024 campaign. You get the football boxes, coaching jackets, bomber jackets, and so much more. What's in these football boxes? Well, it contains 3 never-before-seen items for the University of Tennessee that are not available anywhere else. Curated, so fans have new gear to wear all season long, suitable for all weather conditions. And we know it's going to be a little chilly one this weekend. Plus, those Platinum Box VIPs, you get a VIP koozie, a ringer, VIP hat, plus, it guarantees 20% off early access to Tennessee football's releases throughout the 2024 season, so no more missing out on Home Field apparel because it's sold out. Home Field is the premium collegiate apparel brand, focusing on creating incredibly comfortable, officially licensed apparel with vintage, and boy, those Tennessee designs are beautiful college designs. Go ahead and check it all out at homefieldapparel.com, homefieldapparel.com, homefieldapparel.com to go ahead and get started today. Boogie Bentley, man, it is, would you ever believe that coming into the season we'd be sitting here saying, Tennessee Vanderbilt for all the marbles, what a game, huge game, biggest game of the year. I mean, we'd be laughing at ourselves back in July, but here we are, man. I mean, the stage is set, dude, go get it. And that's what Tennessee's got to do this weekend in the Mid-State against the Commodores.
Yeah, that's it. All you got to do is go beat Vanderbilt. And it's comical to look. Again, sell it to me preseason. I'm taking it 10 times out of 10. Tennessee beats Vanderbilt. You're 10-2, and you're going to the college football playoff. I'm laughing, and I'm saying, let's go. And then throughout the course of this week, I kind of look at our fan base and try to get a gauge where they're at, how they feeling about this football game coming up on Saturday. And there are some of them telling me that Vanderbilt is a really good football team, but Tennessee's just not that good. But then on the flip side, they're like, you better not lose to Vanderbilt. So are you selling me that Vanderbilt's a good football team at 6-5, but Tennessee isn't a good football team at 9-2? But at the same time, we saw what happened a week ago. We got our checklist. These are the things that need to happen. They all happened. How many teams lost on the road? 2 of those were 11-point dog or 11-point favorite and a 12-point favorite, I think. Anything can happen in the SEC, but we're going to Neyland West. It ain't an away game. It's a home game. Let's just go take care of Vanderbilt. Let's do what we do, and let's go play in the college football playoff.
So, Boogie, what's that capacity over there at First Bank Stadium? It's under construction, so isn't it like 28,000 for this year?
Wait, it has a name and it has a capacity? I was laughing earlier this week making a video talking about Vanderbilt. Their biggest win maybe in program history over Alabama, and 12 people stormed the field. 12 Vanderbilt fans stormed the field, and the other, 38,000 Alabama fans set up in their seats watching. Why do they need a capacity? I don't know why they need a capacity.
I asked this because, it is First Bank Stadium. I had to make sure, but I asked this historic. I asked this because I want you to give a ballpark on how many fans will be wearing orange there. I'd say 28,000. How many Vol fans will be there wearing orange?
It's 75%, if not higher, right? I mean, that's the thing, and I get it. It's not the same old Vanderbilt, and I know we're going to get into that in just a little bit, but it is still Neyland West. There are still way more Tennessee fans in Nashville than there are Vanderbilt fans. It'll be interesting to see what tickets are going for, but you got to think it's going to be 75% or higher Tennessee fans for sure.
Yeah, and you think so, and that should help with Tennessee, with the road woes and all that, and, big games. I know this is not going to be your typical away game because, crowd noise is not going to be a huge factor for Tennessee. Still got to communicate and all that, but this is not like going to Missouri last year, and I can't believe I'm even putting Missouri in this category, but I was there, and it was freaking loud. It's not like going to Florida or Alabama, okay? Florida or Georgia. Alabama, in my opinion, Boogie, and maybe I'm off here. People have gone to more games at Alabama than I have, but In the 2 games that I've covered at Alabama, 3, crowd noise has never been an issue. My point is, this is not a traditional road game, so that should help Tennessee. I think it should also help Tennessee that it's a little early, but is what it is. Last week you started off horribly against a horrible team in the first quarter, but this team does practice in the mornings. One thing, and I talked about, earlier in this show, you got to control the controllables. I understand that's coach speak, but stakes are what they are. Everybody knows what they are, but also weather. It is going to be chilly. Okay, you have a Southern California quarterback. Are you buying into any of this? Like, you don't trust Nico in the cold, or what's your thoughts on the cold weather and specifically Tennessee's quarterback?
I don't know, man. I don't think about weather. I think about we have better players. We have better coaches. I'm sick of hearing about their quarterback. Is he good? Yes. Is he better than Nico? No. Like, I'm sick and tired of hearing about their quarterback. Weather? Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Like, you talk about it looked like it's going to rain on Saturday. How is that going to impact this game? Guess what? It's going to impact Vanderbilt the same way that it impacts Tennessee. You bring up the fact that Nico's from Southern California, so maybe there's a little something there. If y'all want to run with that narrative, run with it. I got nothing for you. I got nothing. I'm not concerned about the weather. I'm not concerned about the weather, Cainer.
So you're not concerned about the weather, and you don't think it's going to play any. You're buying more into the fact that Tennessee's got better players. I mean, that's too logical for this show. Okay, that's not steering into the narrative I'm trying to push. You said you're tired of hearing about the quarterback, so let's go ahead and talk about him. Diego Pavia, really talented player, man. 825 rushing yards gained. Okay, and of course he plays quarterback. Got to take sacks into account. He's netted on the ground 671 yards, 6 touchdowns. He is the offense. Okay, he and his former New Mexico State teammates, Eli Stowers, the tight end, that's the offense, and that's all coordinated by former New Mexico State offensive coordinator Tim Beck. It's got a very New Mexico State feel to it. But Tennessee, if you want to win this game, you've got to stop Pavia. And he's not 100%, and he's not going to be 100% until after the year's over. What does Tennessee need to do defensively to, he's going to make plays, but just slow him down?
Yeah, 100% he's going to make plays. And I talked about this earlier in the week on my channel.
Hold on.
Wait.
Let me see your shirt.
Dude, this is the most epic shirt of all time, okay?
That is amazing. Oh.
It's the station wagon from Christmas Vacation, but they got dude, if you're not eating Christmas tree cakes when they roll into town, I got nothing for you. Shout out Nelson and Jackson. I know he's an everydayer. He says these are wax. He says this is prison food. I think he's insane. Give me a Christmas tree cake all day, every day.
I didn't see it strapped onto the top of the station wagon.
Yeah.
I'm like, I just saw the cake. Oh my goodness, what a shirt that is. Where'd you get it?
Facebook knows their audience, bro. I just get an advertisement, and it's from a weightlifting T-shirt company. I'm like, so they make a shirt for fat dudes too? Hook me up.
This idiot will probably buy this shirt. Let's put it on his stream. There you go.
Yep, it worked. Barbell Voodoo, I think, was the name of them.
Okay, that is an epic shirt. That's awesome. Okay, get back to what you were saying. I had to draw everybody's attention to your shirt because it's amazing. But go ahead.
Diego Pavia, you bring up great points. Of course, he's athletic. He's everything, man. He's everything for Vanderbilt. And I think that's why he gets so much love, because he is everything. You compare his passing stats to Nico's. Yeah, he's got one more touchdown than Nico's got. I think Nico's thrown one more interception than he's thrown. So the selling point is, he's athletic. He makes plays with his legs. And I get that. He does. He does make plays with his legs. But guess what? If you're leading Vanderbilt's team in rushing yards, that tells me that they've got nobody else. And if you go run down their running backs, right? Alexander, less than 500 yards on the year, 3.7 yards per carry. Newberry, 185 yards on the year, 4.5 yards per carry. I get it. If you want to sell me that Diego Pavia is a great player, sure. But he's Vanderbilt's entire offense. We've got Dylan Sampson. So it's real cute. It's real funny that you want to sell me that Diego Pavia leads Vanderbilt in rushing. Guess what? Dylan Sampson leads the freaking SEC in rushing. So I'm not worried about Diego Pavia and his superstar status that everybody's created. But you do have to stop him. And I am concerned. He is banged up. And one of the questions I asked earlier in the week was, does he survive the game? How many quarterbacks has this defense knocked out of games? Does he survive the game being banged up? It's not just his knee, also his shoulder. Clark Lee said he ain't going to be 100% until the season is over. All eyes are on the linebacker position, man. Can Arian Carter, can Jeremiah Thielander? Because we have seen this defense struggle against the run, against the quarterback run, since Keenan Peely went down. So that is a huge factor for me. And I know I'm telling jokes and having fun and talking about Neyland West and how it's Vanderbilt. Tennessee's got to show up to play on Saturday because they could very easily lose this game for all the reasons we laid out before. I don't consider it a true road game, but you are going on the road, and it is in the SEC, and anybody can beat anybody. It has been a crazy year of college football, so Tennessee's got to be dialed in. They got to be ready to go, and I think it's going to be a key for linebackers on Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, the disrespect is just all over your voice right now. It's incredible. Get ready to tackle the NFL action this weekend with FanDuel. It's America's #1 sports book because right now new customers can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if you win. The FanDuel Sportsbook app gives you everything you need to place live bets on the NFL all in one place. So when you get a hunch in the middle of the game, you can check out the latest stats, view the live play-by-play, and so much more on the same page where you place your bets. Just visit FanDuel.com to join today. You'll get started with $150 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. That's only at FanDuel.com. Never waste a hunch and make every single moment more with FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the NFL, and it's where you can make every single moment more. Let's continue on talking about the quarterback because I know you want to. He is a really good player, but also, I mean, you can just tell, at least on paper, and I watched Vanderbilt at the end of the Alabama game. I was at a wedding, but I watched almost the entire Vanderbilt Texas game, and I know they can get after the passer. I mean, they got after Quinn Ewers. They got after him a lot in that football game. But like, you look at the stat sheet, and there's been improvement. Don't get me wrong, but they're still towards the bottom third in pretty much everything, both offensively and defensively. But here's what they do really, really well offensively, to go along with a really, really good quarterback. They protect him. 14 sacks in 11 games. Now, I think he makes the offensive line right majority of the time, okay? But still, only 14 sacks is pretty good. And why I say that, well, that offensive line is only blocking for 3.8 yards per carry, so it's not like it's elite. But also, they don't turn the football over. 6 turnovers offensively in 11 games. That is really, really good. Really good. They're pretty efficient in the red zone, more so than Tennessee. Defensively, they are very efficient in the red zone. They got bend but not break. Defense, they were so bad a year ago, but they've taken strides and a little bit and everything, but in defending the run, a huge step. They were 16th dead last by a country mile a season ago. They're right in the middle of the SEC, defending the run at 123 yards allowed on average per game. So, Vanderbilt does a few things at an elite level, but I think for Tennessee offensively at least, and you brought it up a moment ago, I mean, just be who you are, do what you do, and rely on that run game. I don't care how good the numbers are in terms of defending the run, but just be who you are. And I got faith in Tennessee's offensive line, run blocking, and Dylan Sampson all day.
Yeah, you bring up their rushing defense, 36th in the country. What'd you say, middle of the pack, SEC?
Yeah, 8th.
What if they do show up on Saturday? And what if we do have to lean on Nico in this passing offense? Because if you're setting up a struggle for Tennessee, it's finding consistency in that passing game. And I liked the way, again, I get it, it's UTEP. And we see sometimes against the inferior teams like the UTEPs, like the Chattanoogas, like the Kent States, we see the tight ends get more involved. We see the running backs involved. I love the screenplay to Dylan Sampson. We need more of that. Use the middle of the field. It feels like we attack the middle of the field so much against inferior opponents, but then when we get up against a Georgia or an Alabama or a Florida or an Oklahoma or an Arkansas, all of a sudden we completely abandon the middle of the field. So I think I say that hypothetically. What if Vanderbilt's able to stop Tennessee's run? I just don't see it. I would love to see Dylan Sampson break that single season record. We shall see how that plays out. I just don't think they're going to be able to stop Tennessee's attack. If Tennessee stays to the run game, sticks with the run game, even if it doesn't work early, I wish they would set Nico up with some easy throws. Somebody in my chat brought up a great point in the post-game show of UTEP. It's like Nico started slow, but he finished really strong. Give him some easy throws, man. Give him some quick stuff, some little tight end stuff. It's easy throws. Get him comfortable, because I feel like Nico is so inconsistent right now. I feel like when he finds that consistency, he's really, really good. So get him going early. I've even said let him run the football. Let him take a hit. Let him get popped. Let him know he's in a fight, and then let him go out and be who he is, because I think the sky is the limit. I mean, I know Nico's probably not what we thought he was going to be this year. This ain't going to be the final story for Nico Iamaleava. I think he's going to be something really special at Tennessee, and we say that as we get ready to go play Vanderbilt to enter the college football playoff.
And it's funny, like, Nico's far from bad, like, so far from bad. Like, and again, the expectation entering the year, and we knew it was going to be like this regardless of what year he had, because of the hype in terms of recruiting, number one overall in the country, the 5 stars, the NIL, all that type of stuff. I mean, the first pick he threw was going to be like, it's a BS. Can't believe we're paying for this crap. Like we knew that coming in, but he is far from bad. And also, like, you talk about setting Nico up for success early on, but like Tennessee's play callers, Halsley and Heupel both, I mean, they're so stubborn on just trying to hit the home run and splash plays early on. Don't get me wrong, like, sign me up. I would love that, but like, how many times are you going to throw it, try to hit the deep ball early in football games until you realize, like, hey, why don't you work up to that? Why don't you work up to that, get your quarterback feeling a little confident and see kind of what happens. How do you see this game going, man? But you got a crystal ball here. How do you think it's going to go? Paint me a picture, quarters 1 through 4, on how this one's going to happen.
It's like Jekyll and Hyde, man. I see this game being domination by Tennessee, and then the battered ball syndrome creeps in, which a lot of people hate. Don't talk about battered ball syndrome. How dare you? It's real, man. It's real. It's why we got Vanderbilt to go to get into the college football playoff, and yet somehow we're sitting here saying, well, we got to show up. We got to execute for 60 minutes. That's because we do need to do that, especially if let's say we beat Vanderbilt, then we're off into the playoff. This team has still not put it together for 60 minutes. The question for me is, do they have to? Or can they continue to lean on the defense and Dylan Sampson and just grit it out and find a way to win games? I like Tennessee in this game. I like Tennessee in this game by 2 to 3 scores. I think if they show up and they are who they are, they run the football, they play good defense. They got to get after the quarterback and keep him contained. That's, again, eyes on the linebackers for keeping him bottled up. Hit him, man. You get an opportunity to take a shot, hit him. Put him in the dirt. Let him go home with a grass-stained jersey. I'm calling it now. I don't think he finishes the game. I do not think he finishes the game. I hope Nico clicks, but I think we win this game the way we've won all year long, and that's defense and Dylan Sampson.
I might have called you Nico. Boogie with the hottest of hot takes of Pavia not finishing the game when Nate Johnson got a little bit of run last week because, of course, he couldn't finish the game because he was so banged up.
I mean, they were questioning whether or not he was even going to play last week. So that tells me, look, I'm not even hating on the kid. I think he's a great player for Vanderbilt. Like, let's go ahead and have a draft right now. You like to brag. You like to tag me on Twitter. Look, Boogie, they're saying I won the draft. Who you taking? Who you taking in the draft? You going to take Nico or you going to take Diego Pavia?
Well, Nico, for sure.
Right. The problem is $8 million. That's the problem. Because of $8 million, everybody expects and demands perfection. And when you don't get it, then you're all out on Nico. But give me Nico every single day of the week.
Well, here's the thing, too. Like, say both – I know Pavia is, but, like, say Nico is draft eligible right now. NFL teams. Who you drafting first for the NFL? 100%. Nico, Pavia is a fantastic college quarterback. Nico's got the intangibles to make him a good quarterback for many, many, many years, and we'll see how it all goes. I think this is one of those textbook, Vanderbilt's gonna win in a squeaker, or Tennessee's just gonna blow them out. And I'm with the latter there. I think Tennessee's gonna blow them out. I think that this team is mature enough. I think the fact that it's not going to be a true road game, essentially. And going back to what you said earlier, I just think Tennessee flat out has better players. And I recognize this is a much better Vanderbilt team, and give him credit. Clark Lee's done a heck of a job this year. Came into the year with 6 wins. Came into the year with 9 career wins in 3 years. He's already got 6 wins this year. So, I mean, he's not going to get that 9-win mark, but still, he's done a heck of a job. But Tennessee is Tennessee and Vanderbilt is Vanderbilt. And I think we're going to see that happen on Saturday.
Yeah, I'm ready to go take care of business. It's a cute story. It's fun. Vandy's bowl eligible. They beat Alabama. Look, they're a gritty bunch, man. When we talked about this on my show Monday, what makes Vanderbilt scary to me is not the win over Alabama. It's playing Missouri tight on the road. It's playing Texas tight. It's beating Auburn on the road. It's playing LSU.
Being an onside kick away from upsetting Texas.
LSU last week on the road, you lost by a touchdown. They're a gritty bunch. They're a gritty bunch. But I think Josh Heupel's going to have this team ready to go on Saturday. Give me the balls all day, every day. It's all I know. It's all I know.
Boogie, in true TV reporter fashion, let me ask you this as we say goodbye. What are you thankful for? Thanksgiving was yesterday. What are you thankful for?
Man, if I was going to spell it out for you, you didn't even tell me you were going to do this. But a buddy of mine, I've told the story 8 million times on my channel. The guy that I took in the first ever Tennessee game with ever passed away from brain cancer. And it's that's one of those memories, man, that you can look back on. Always have that. We'll always have that connection. And I've told so many details of that story that make it special to me. But at his funeral, one of our mutual friends, his best friend, preached his funeral, which I don't even know how he got through it. He said he's thankful for 5 things. And the big Vol Hoss would have said the same 5. That's his faith. That's his family. That's his friends. That's food. And that's football. I'm wearing a T-shirt with a Christmas tree cake on it. I got Bible verse tattooed on my arms. I got tributes to my mom, to my wife, to my kids. So give me faith, family, friends, football, and food. The 5 Fs. The 5 Fs. Man, that just came right off the top of my head. That's what I'm thankful for. I'm thankful for my relationship with Eric Cain right here on Locked On Vols. What are you thankful for? Let me throw it back at you.
Dude, I'm for a lot of the same things, man. My faith, my family, my wife. She's the best, my child that's not here yet that I can't wait to see in a couple of months. The everydayers, the community. I'm thankful for your followers for jumping in my comments and saying, a couple years ago that we need to link up, and we've been doing this every Friday since. So that's been a blast. I'm thankful to not have a real job. I work a lot, but is it really work if you enjoy the crap out of it? I mean, you had a real job that you had a year or two ago that you gave up to do this, and this is amazing, and the fact that we get to do this for a living I still can't believe it. So I'm thankful for Tennessee fans for allowing us to do it.
I'm even thankful for Green Wave in the comments section, who hates my guts and has no idea who I am. I'm thankful for you, Green Wave. So I hope you had a great Thanksgiving and a Merry Christmas.
Thankful for the haters that continue to fuel us, right?
That's right.
Boogie, as always, man, thanks so much. And, dude, let's do this time next week talking about Tennessee. It won't be official at that point, but let's talk about Tennessee and kind of some of the projections in the college football playoff, yeah?
Yeah, we got a lot coming up next week. College football playoff rankings, early signing day, a lot to talk about in the world of college football.
All right, we'll do it then. See you, Boogie.
Appreciate it.
All right, that is Boogie Bentley, Locked On Talking Vols. We do it every single Friday right here on the show, and always a fun one. We'll see what happens. Tennessee and Vanderbilt. For all the marbles, literally. Tennessee, you win and you're in. And if you lose, you have nobody to blame but yourself. But hey, how about you don't do that? Just go get it. Just go win, baby. And let's continue this football season on for a couple of weeks. And I can't wait, man. I feel like they don't need me out there on the field. Trust me, they don't want me. But I feel like a player right now. The juices are flowing, ready to go out there and hit somebody. Oh man, love it. Let's see what happens. We'll talk about it all on Sunday, and we'll be back stronger than ever on a Monday morning. This is Locked On Vols.